Hey, welcome to the Kind of Sleepy Podcast. I'm your host, Knowledge, and who do I have to my left?
Miss EP, voice of reason.
Are you gonna be reasonable today?
You know, I don't know. We gonna have to. I
We have to see.
got a few things on my chest.
Who do I got across from me?
Jersey.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
How you feeling?
I'm good. I make
Where
rare
you been?
appearances.
What's been going on with you? Where
You know,
been?
life.
Life happens.
Yeah, grad school.
How's your dog?
She's good. She's good. Thank you.
Okay. You the first person I've met actually with a diabetical dog.
I know.
Your
But
dog got the sugar?
Yeah, she got
Yeah,
sugar.
your
She's a
dog
real
sugar.
black dog. I didn't realize that. Yeah.
Does she take
Yeah.
shots every day?
Yeah, I got to give her insulin
Every
now.
day?
Insulin every day now.
In the
It's
stomach?
a process.
I bet your dog make the hell out of some potato salad.
Listen, but she's 12, so it's a blessing. It's a blessing.
And who do I got sitting to my right here?
Yo, you know it's me, man. It's your boy Tenaro Reed, a.k.a. Natty Bad Tattoo Dreadlock, owner, operator of Slaughterhouse Tattoos. Mr. A.K.A. helping them look better naked
You got to.
in the
Got to.
building.
You know, I need to talk to you because I want to do some work.
She needs to look better
yeah.
naked.
We'll talk later.
Yeah, because you got the newborn baby body.
Thank you.
We,
Thank you.
Yeah, we need to decorate
Yeah,
that.
yeah, a little
Yeah,
something.
a little something on there.
You must moisturize.
It's coconut oil.
Right. And this is going to be a PG-13 episode of the Kind of Sleepy Podcast because we have another special guest in the room right now. Do you want to say something? Look at you smiling. Go and say something right quick. Say something right quick. Say it to the mic. What's your nickname? Say it to the mic. Say
What
it.
is my nickname?
What's your nickname? KK.
KK.
In the building.
We got KK in the
Father,
building with
please
us too.
bless my mouth.
Anoint me with your guidance and your presence, Lord. Guide my tongue.
Well, you know, now that I think about it, Miss KK may be taking over Voice of Reason today since she collects dollars for bad words.
Oh.
Yeah,
And I
that's
already owe her $1
Yeah.
as it is. So, yeah, I owe her
Yeah.
$1. Good
Yeah.
Lord. I give it to your mama.
Well, I'm sweating right
She's
now.
probably gonna make a good amount of money this
I'm
episode.
trying to tell you.
Sunday hustle.
She had to give me
Your grandma had
Wow.
to give you $13.
She said, "Don't tell all her business. What happened at home, stay at home.
Right.
You don't talk
So-
about nothing that go on in this house." y'all know.
Speaking of somebody that needs an old grandmama butt whipping, Robert Glasper said that Lauryn Hill hasn't done enough to act the way that she acts. I mean, showing up late, basically. So I was aware that people had not gotten paid for the work that they did on the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. I was aware of that. I didn't realize that it was kind of like a very well-known thing that a lot of those songs were pretty much stolen by
Oh.
Miss Hill.
What do you mean?
I've
stolen?
heard people. Now this is only. I don't know if this is exactly what he was saying, but it's been implied by Robert Glasper, as well as some people that I've talked to in the music industry, after seeing this come out, that the songs that she sang on Miseducation of Lauryn Hill were actually other people's songs
yeah.
that she took for herself. Now I can believe some of that,
Yeah.
like the song, what is it, Lost Ones?
Mm-hmm.
I can believe that one was stolen. Now, it fit her very, very well. But considering what she was doing at the time with her life, considering that she was, messing with Wyclef, who was married, and all that, the message that she has in that song is kind of inconsistent with how she was living. But then, songs like Zion, songs like When It Hurts So Bad,
Right.
That
all
was
those
clearly
songs,
hers.
like, yeah, man, I can feel like people
And-
might have contributed, but I feel like that was her.
You kind of have to ask the question: what's the definition of stealing? Because she was so big.
Yeah.
If it was your song, why didn't you
Yeah.
sue?
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
the sister
Well, they
got
did,
what, like
though.
5 Grammys?
They did.
Oh,
sue.
they did too.
Yeah,
Okay.
it took them years to get their money, but some of the folks that worked on the album did sue her
Mhm.
and did get paid. But one thing that I thought was very interesting was that they said that don't look her in the eye and only refer to her as Miss Hill. And so he was like, he made sure to look her in the eye, and she said, "Robert, take it back from the top," and he said, "Okay, Lauryn." So
My
I mean,
man.
Robert Glasper, I mean, he's got a body of work that speaks for
Right.
itself. Like he's making money, and he has really good music. And he's consistent, and he's done it for years. Now I know that we all love Lauryn Hill for nostalgia's sake, but Robert Glasper arguably is a better musician than her. So I mean, if he says something like this, I kind of got to rock with it.
I know somebody that knows her personally, a musician up north, a vocalist, and you hear a variety of things about her, an array of different opinions. I think she's just an artist, and I think she's eccentric,
Mhm.
and I think that sister's been through a lot. in the
I can
music
agree with that.
industry.
I can agree with that.
And I just think, listen, that's some people change throughout time. Like everybody's not going to be like, Jenny from the block that you remember. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
People gravitate and they change. So I love her. She's a New Jersey native, so I'm not going to talk bad about her.
Well, I'm not gonna talk bad about her, but at a certain point, like you got to come to the realization. Like I was like, who was that? I forgot who that was. I think it was my friend April who listens to the show. She's a friend of the show. She said that I wish I had as much faith in the Lord or something as people who put faith in Lauryn Hill to show up to the concert.
Telling you.
Like I really wish I had as much faith.
Yeah.
In
Now, don't get me wrong. I would never buy like a ticket to one of her shows.
If you buying a Lauryn Hill like buying Lauryn Hill tickets in 2018,
It's like playing the lottery.
well, no, it's like smoking crack in 2018. Like you saw what crack did
In
in
the
the 80s and 90s. Ain't no new crackheads.
Yeah.
Like if you a new crackhead, you are stupid.
Oh, good.
So it's like one of those things where, like, if you buying a Lauryn Hill concert, I'm just waiting on you to be mad and post a Facebook status about it.
Lauryn Hill YouTube channel don't even show up.
Like,
Word.
like my thing is,
Say it's
okay,
loading.
this is gonna sound really bad, but I look at people who buy, like people who tell me they buy Lauryn Hill tickets. I look at their Facebook pages the same way I look at people who be gushing and glowing all over their relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really be waiting for it to go bad so I can laugh. Like,
Disappointment's
I
on
know,
the way.
I know
That's
that's
so
I
awful.
know that's petty. I know that's very petty.
It's honest though.
Yeah.
I think the issue is we tend to put people in these like boxes of what, like the artist comes out, it's like, yo, I really like them. I like their music. I like their vibe. And then it's like all of a sudden you put them into like superpower status of some
Right.
sort.
Mhm.
They're still a person and they still may have like jacked up, characteristics, but
Yep.
you have to separate the two. And I think that's the issue with
Yeah.
Lauryn Hill. That's the issue with Kanye. That's the
Mhm.
issue with Bill Cosby.
I think
That's
well,
the issue
Excellent
with
point.
no R.
Excellent.
Kelly.
Excellent.
You know,
point.
and the
saying.
list goes on. No, you got a good artist. They're not necessarily the
A good
best
person,
people.
yeah.
here's the thing about now. But the thing is, there's a difference to me between what Lauryn Hill is doing and what Kanye, R. Kelly, and
No, I'm not comparing them. I'm
I
just
know, I
saying,
know.
they all have
The
their
thing
different
is,
vices.
literally, all Lauryn, like we would forgive Lauren's vocal shortcomings at this point. Because we saw that she, like when she did Unplugged, we knew that she had not sang in a while, and it was obvious. She had not been kind of keeping her voice up. She was not in practice. But we listened to Unplugged because we were yearning for Lauryn Hill's artistry. So if Lauryn Hill came out there today, and that's why, and like I talked about earlier about her quote unquote stealing those songs, that's why she can't play the versions of the songs that we all know and love
Right.
because of the legal stuff.
Lawsuit.
You know what I'm saying? And so the thing is about it is like, if all we really asking Lauryn Hill to do is show up on time.
Just show up.
But she doesn't care to. Like her ego is that big.
Yeah.
She's on like queen status.
That's why I think, and I have said this time and again, Lauryn Hill think we stupid.
No, I think I agree with what the EP said.
I think
we put people in this
get what you're saying.
on this pedestal,
Right.
and then when they prove us wrong, then everybody wants to jump down their throats.
I get what you're saying.
She was a great artist.
I'm-
We have no idea what type of person she was.
I'm not arguing that she may be eccentric or have some issues or whatever.
Mhm.
And then and she's obviously falling short of our expectations. But literally, all we're asking her to do is show up on time. Everything else can be forgiven.
Yeah, fan consideration. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just have some consideration for your
Yeah.
fans, those people who
How
stuck
would you-
beside you.
All right, so like since this has been like a major topic in the media, let's discuss this. What if she has some form of mental illness? We don't know. There
Okay.
could seriously be something wrong with
And
her.
that would be
Well,
fair.
Yeah.
I
And
think
And people,
something
and
wrong
it's a
with her.
lot
Yeah.
of people. A lot of people have brought that up. Like a lot of people have brought her being mentally ill up. And the thing is, I could actually believe that. I can believe that. But the thing is, her behavior is too consistent for
Right.
me to naturally just go on and throw that card out there. Because I feel like if we throw that card out there and she's not, then we cheapen the impact and the actual stigma of mental illness or the actual struggle of mental illness.
I think it's a serious question though, because her behavior has been very odd for years.
So check this out. Okay, so check this out.
Mm-hmm.
This one thing that came from the Robert Glasper interview.
Mhm.
He said that they were doing some performance, and he started playing the opening notes to Joyful Joyful, and she looked at him, and then he started playing the opening notes to Joyful Joyful, and she went back to Lauryn Hill from Sister Act 2, Joyful Joyful Lord.
Mhm.
She went back to that Lauryn Hill. Don't be looking at me like that.
Did you hear that?
you just was waiting to show out.
Yeah, look at it, right.
Oh,
Find
okay.
out this man can hold a note.
Right, it sounds like he on the Sunbeam Choir. Look at that.
This little light
Little
of
Sunbeam.
mine, I'm gonna let it sunshine. Okay, go ahead.
So she went back to that. So
might
he
be having him singing.
see,
All right.
stop it.
Sorry.
So he
Never
said that she's still in there. She's still there.
But see,
Okay,
but,
what
But hold on, hold on.
that
But
can scream
finish
mental
my point.
illness, though.
Let me finish my point, though.
Mhm.
So my thing is, mental illness, like, and the thing is, there are various forms of mental illness. There are various types of mental illness. I get all that. I don't think that Lauryn Hill is as much mentally ill as she is desperate for something. Let me follow me now. Follow me now.
I
Follow me
got
now.
you. I'm with you.
When I say desperate for something, I'm looking at it like this. So when she had those tax problems, the IRS issues, and she came out and gave her reasoning for not paying taxes, saying that she was trying to protect herself from a certain system, yada yada yada, blah 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 blah. You don't protect yourself from the system by, throwing rocks at the penitentiary. Now, some could say that's a sign of mental illness, but the thing is, if you're very lucid and intelligent enough to make that statement, consistently make that statement, I'm not gonna immediately give you that pass. That's why I said that Lauryn Hill think we stupid, because there was something she did in Atlanta that let me know. She said our driver got lost. Your driver got lost for 2.5 hours in Atlanta.
In Atlanta.
Nah, bruh. I'm not gonna buy that. And then the day after that, she said, for me to properly give the fans a show, I gotta get my chi and my chakras and my life force aligned. She put out that statement. So which is it? Your driver got lost, or your chi and your chakras wasn't seeing eye to eye, and they,
But you're also proving another point.
what's
And I
that?
just know this just from dealing with it in my family firsthand. People can be extremely intelligent and bright and still have mental illness. It's a form of erratic behavior that is undescribable, and you can't put your finger on it. Now, I'm not saying that us saying that about her is going to cheapen or lessen people who are mentally ill, but you do have to take into consideration that she has been acting quite odd and doing very strange things for some years. Sometimes there is no other explanation outside of the fact that we don't understand it because we're not a medical professional. And if that gentleman was able to play a song that brought her back, that's a serious sign of mental illness. Because sometimes all they need is something to remind them of something in the past to bring them back to a moment of clarity. But if she can't stay in those moments of clarity, then that goes to tell you that there's something wrong there.
See, and having dealt with that in my family as well, and I've always said that all of us are only 2 or 3 bad decisions or bad circumstances for being mentally ill. All of us at some point have dealt with some form of mental illness, whether it had been very small or very large. I'm looking at Lauryn Hill and saying, these are decisions you're making.
Right.
It is a decision to not come out
Constantly.
to know your show starts at 9:00 and not come out to 11:30. It is a decision to have to, because think about it. In your contract, it says that if you don't start by a certain time, you have to give some of that money back. And if you go over your time because of noise ordinances, you're required to lose money to pay on this stuff. She's making decisions to not come out there and sing.
Well, I don't think I'm gonna have to disagree just a little bit. I don't think that's a priority for her. That's not anything she's taking into consideration. And when you want to compare the Lauryn that you have now to the Lauryn that was once back before, I don't know what was her driving force. What actually caused her to hold on to who she was? What kept her calm and somewhat sane? You know, what allowed her to be the true Lauryn in those moments that she no longer has in her life that is causing her to be erratic and not the same. So I feel like sometimes people hold on to things, whether it's a person in your life, whether it's a feeling that you have in your life, whether it's a sense of security and stability that you feel like you have at one point, and then when you lose that, you no longer have that to hold on to.
And that's fair. That's a very fair point. So I've got a question for you guys now. Do you guys think Nicki Minaj is mentally ill then?
I think something's definitely wrong with Nicki.
I think it's drugs or mental illness, one or the other. But I
Nobody's
definitely think
that
it's something.
slow. You know, yeah.
But-
So we're
and
talking,
I'm like,
you talking about the
really?
Funk Flex interview?
No, she's like that all
All
the
the
time.
time.
Like she's just so zoned and spaced out, and I'm like, come on, Nikki, get it.
I honestly, I'll be honest with her. I think it's pills.
She
That's
might be.
just-
She
that's-
might be a savant.
No.
You know, she can only, she can only, no, she can express herself. I mean, on the microphone, she might not be able to express herself through regular conversation. She might be a little slow.
But see, here's the thing. When I look at I like the Nicki Minaj. I like the itty bitty piggy Nicki Minaj, the massive attack Nicki Minaj, that monster verse Nicki Minaj, like that.
The Nikki
I
on the
like.
stairs.
the Nicki
Back
on
in
the
the
stairs
video, yeah.
back in the day and on the come up DVD,
Yeah.
Nicki Minaj. She was very intelligent, articulate. She was a girl from New York.
New York.
She was that girl. Like, I'll tell you a story about something happened to me last night with somebody from New York coming up to me. I told you that when I was on the way home from the club.
You did.
When we're not gonna talk about that right now. But she was your typical girl from New York back
Right.
then. You would see her. Like, she had some very, very clean Timbs at the house. Like, you knew
She didn't
that.
have Tim's on.
And she was articulate. She did not have Tim's on, but she did have on some Jordans. So I figured she got Southernized. But anyway, but no, I think
got
that
to her.
Nicki Minaj is dealing with mental illness. I'm on the fence about Lauryn Hill. I'll say that much.
I mean, I look at it like this, man. Like you say, it's a choice. Because you got a guy right now that works at Walmart at the door who may has mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
He come to work every day. He right there at that door every day, greeting people the way he do, greet people every day.
To be a little
So
bit
either-
transparent, I can relate to that very, very well.
So either you gonna come to work or you not.
Well, not to go down a rabbit hole, but I have this huge theory about how I feel like entertainment news should be gone away with. I feel like there should be laws that allow people to have certain limits to their information that's shared. If it is not public information, it doesn't need to be reported. I would go crazy if everything I did was
On live
reported
social
everywhere.
media. God knows.
Think back to maybe when you were in high school
Don't
and a
look
rumor got started. And you were like, oh my gosh, you thought that was the end of your world. Now imagine if that was worldwide. You see celebrities go crazy, or what we would define as go crazy all the time. Give them some privacy.
Check this out, though. I noticed something, though. Artists on Nicki Minaj's level, like she's arguably on a tier, if not on the same tier, at least one tier below, and that's within striking distance of artists like Rihanna, Beyonce, Jay-Z, these internationally known artists. Rihanna recently said, like, Rihanna used to clap back all the time. Rihanna recently said in the interview, like, how do you have time
Right.
to
You have to stop
to
caring.
react?
Yeah,
to?
You have to stop caring.
Yeah,
And if you
Beyonce-
don't,
you have to dial
you're gonna
out.
lose to it.
Beyonce was accused of not even carrying her child, and she didn't respond to all that. She just she put it into her music.
That sister don't even do interviews. I mean,
Yeah.
she set boundaries for herself, and
I-
God
but you
has
know
bless
though,
to.
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
same way, like
But
with
you know
Nas.
Yeah.
Nas did the same thing.
But when
Yo.
but I'm gonna tell you, when Beyonce talk, you gotta love when Beyonce talk though. Beyonce, be- and you know,
Listen, sister's
like
intelligent,
she get that
articulate.
she get that deep voice where she be thinking about her words, and you be like, I see why Jay fell in love.
Yeah.
Man. Ooh, she can sing. She probably smell good. She using all these articulate words, but she's still authentically Southern.
Right.
Very
Like
much
she's
so.
so Houston, it's not even funny. And the thing is, okay, so this last album really like, I know it's not cool for dudes to be like they Beyonce fan. I'm a Beyonce fan, bro.
Yeah, it's cool.
You
What
talking about,
talking
talking about the Carter album?
Yeah, like I'm
Bruh.
not going. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not buying tickets. Like me and you, not gonna be buying tickets to the concert. You know what I'm saying? And sitting next to each other.
I bought tickets to the concert.
For you or for you and somebody.
Yeah, me and somebody.
Okay, so that's cool.
You fine.
That's cool.
You did the right thing.
But if I tell you tomorrow,
You was smart.
But I wanted to go. She didn't.
and I'm not mad at that.
What you mean you
but
want to
check
go?
this out. But if I tell you, yo, we finna go see Yo Gotti, you gonna be like, bet, let's
Let's
go.
bet. Yeah, let's ride.
That's cool. If I
Right.
say, yo, we finna go see Beyonce, bro.
Jay gonna be
See,
there?
okay, y'all.
You gotta say
know
Jay
what?
gonna be there.
I'm
We
gotta bring y'all down real quick. That would be the smartest thing for y'all to do. Okay,
We are.
as two straight black men. Yes, you gonna be in a room full of screaming, going crazy women.
But see,
that'd
it's
be
just-
the smartest, most
it's the
playerist
that's
thing to
Actually,
do.
not smart for me to do, but we
No,
not
no,
talking about
but that was separate. You know, I understand that.
But it's the
situation.
conversation
I'm
you have to
saying.
have with your man.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, you be like,
Me,
yo, what's up,
like,
bro? You trying to go
let's-
check out B?
Let's talk about somebody else. If I be like, yo, so you want to go ride out and listen to that Queen album, bro?
That's a little weird. That's a little strange. That's different. Yeah, I wouldn't. I really
if,
wouldn't.
If you hop in my car and I
Boy,
be like,
get out my yard.
Get from around
but
here.
is it
Get from around
possible,
here, boy.
is it possible for a straight man to be like a really big Beyonce fan though?
I think so.
Yeah.
At
So
this
why,
point, I think so.
if you're a
I-
huge
here's
Beyonce
why.
fan, why can't you go to the Beyonce
Hold on,
concert?
now.
No,
You said- hold on.
wait.
Hold on, whoa,
Here's what I'm saying. wait. No, here's what I'm saying.
whoa.
It is possible to be a straight man and be a big Beyonce fan because Beyonce at this point,
As long as you ain't hitting the dances and stuff, I'm cool.
I
with
am
it.
not going to be doing the single ladies dance.
If I see you hitting the we got a problem.
I'm just saying. You definitely got
big
I got
one.
bad because I got bad knees. If I'm doing that, I'm falling out on the floor. But no. But my thing is, it's possible. I think Beyonce has transcended that level of just being a certain type of artist to like that Michael Jackson level almost,
Right.
to where she has like a global fan base. Now, I don't think it's okay. And now you said, why can't I go to the Beyonce concert? I'm not gonna take my homeboy to the Beyonce concert because that's just a violation of man law.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not if I'm in,
codes.
if I'm in the car and Natty hops in my car, I'm not gonna immediately turn on that Queen album.
Nah,
What if it was already on?
it got to come off.
I'm gonna switch to. I'm
gotta come off.
I'm gonna switch to gelato.
It got to right. It got to come off.
100 shots.
Yeah, look.
100 shots.
Hey,
You know who I'm gonna play? I'm gonna put on some YBN in the mirror. I'm gonna
Hey,
play them
look.
young boys. That
yeah, look.
YBN crew.
The
I
car
like
is
them.
not. The car is not moving.
Yeah.
Long the Queen album popping.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I got a homeboy of mine, right? And he just a cool, laid back type cat, right?
Right.
And every time he come through, you know what I mean? Like we get ready to roll out, he be listening to Marsha Ambrosia and the Flower Tree.
And
And he
I
out
do
there-
that.
it.
I
But
do that
look,
in the car by myself.
By yourself, not
Right.
with the dog in here now.
Yeah.
The dog in here now.
Oh, gosh.
Come on
The
now.
closest we can get
Right.
to is probably Liberation by Outkast. It's a fine
Line between love and hate.
I'm trying to tell you. That's about as close as we gonna get.
All right,
We get it.
we'll
We
let
get it.
have
Y'all got
a
y'all man code
codes.
things.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying, it's a man law thing. So
We can't even.
let's move
Right.
on to some other things that we got to talk. We got a lot to talk about this week. Senator Tim Scott. He's the Senate's only black Republican. He's from South Carolina, Charleston to be exact. Said that Donald Trump is taking positive steps in the right direction on race.
Coonery.
Well, all in favor, say aye.
Ooh,
Aye.
I know where that came from.
Well, that was a pretty quick conversation.
Don't even give him no airtime.
Really?
All right, let's move right along.
Can't do it.
We would like to trade Tim Scott for Gary Owen, please. In the next racial draft.
Any
We are
day.
gonna- We are going to release him on waivers. Okay, so speaking of the racial draft, I got to ask you guys' opinion on this. What do you guys think about Omarosa right now? I want your opinion first. What do you think about Omarosa right now?
I mean, to me, she just Omarosa, man.
Right.
I really, I'm really not gonna put my finger on it. I'm not gonna lend my comments to it. I'm just see how it plays out.
Okay.
That's it. That's all, man.
A hit dog or holler.
Oh.
Moving right along.
You think Trump hit?
Huh?
That's $1 for you.
I didn't say
You
that.
already know.
You think Trump hit that dog?
You already.
I didn't say that.
You think Trump hit that
I
dog?
didn't say that.
Nobody said
Trump
it.
ain't hit that dog. Okay.
Yeah.
That's just it. What about you, Miss EP?
I don't have any thoughts. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Let me ask y'all a question. And this is another vote. Is she re-invited to the cookout?
No.
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not.
Nah,
You knew
nah,
he did all of this
nah.
stuff before you
Yeah.
got on his
My
campaign.
people.
You
Yeah,
had all
nah.
these tapes and all this
Hey,
other
man.
stuff.
You can't-
You
nah.
waited to come out with it for your book promo. You only
Right.
did it
Right,
for
well,
one
you-
reason.
Speaking
you
of which,
got-
has anybody read the book besides me?
No.
No.
I've been working on the book.
I'm not
I
supporting
started on
her.
it.
Mhm.
I didn't say I paid
Wait,
for
wait.
the
No,
book.
I
I
get
was
it.
about to
I get
say,
it.
wait.
Yeah.
Where'd you get the book
Yeah.
from?
I didn't say I paid for the book.
We know that.
You asking questions. Like, you trying to get me to dry snitch on myself right now. That's what you're trying to do. What we're not going to do here on the Council Podcast is do no dry snitching. All right? Just know I got the book, and I can read it on my phone right now. So,
Yeah, but I have to say the reason I think she's not invited back to the cookout though is her intentions are not
Yeah,
very
they
clear.
wasn't
She's
genuine.
just a shady
She's not
person,
pure.
period.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Period.
And
That's
when
it.
you're not,
That's Omarosa.
good-hearted person, because you can be as jacked up as you want to be, but we'll give you a pass all day long. The Lord know it's hard.
right.
We don't know what's in hers. I don't know.
Right. My homegirl Rudy said, that she can't come to the cookout, but she can stand on the porch and ask for a plate. I said, no.
Nah.
No.
You can't-
Granddaddy said she can't even stand on the porch because he don't want no hammerhead hussies in his
Yeah.
yard.
Yeah, for real.
So,
You let the addicts and the people with issues come get a plate on the porch.
Yeah.
She can't even come.
Nah, she can't,
No,
yeah.
she
yeah,
can't
no.
come.
So she okay. So wait, I'm glad we agree on that one.
Mhm.
So shortly after we posted last week's episode, we talked about the death of Marquise McLaughlin in Clearwater, Florida, where he was shot by this man who decided he wanted to play parking lot police.
Right.
Shortly after we posted last week, the guy Michael Drejka was charged with manslaughter in Florida. it was pretty much proven by multiple legal scholars that what that chief of police said regarding stand your ground was not true.
Yeah, it was not the case.
And this dude didn't stand his ground.
It's a horrible, stupid law. But moving on.
Here's my thing. I think that the law itself is neutral. I think the application,
The way it's being used in
Used,
Florida
yeah.
is just
is
it's
wrong.
to kill black people. Like,
And I agree.
It's a horrible
I agree.
thing.
My thing is, if black people were allowed to use stand your ground the way they were,
Mhm.
some of these situations that we see with people, running up on folks,
Would
would
not
end a
be
completely
would
different
not
way.
be in play.
Because the thing is, a lot of times with us, specifically with certain situations like that, we have to defer to nonviolence because we know the criminal justice system will not support us
It
in
does
those
not work
situations.
for us.
If the criminal justice system was equal, we would be justified in taking violent action when we were faced with certain things. So, look at KK over there. KK over there having a good old time with her slushy. She done got to the bottom of that slushy. All right, let's move right along. So, this kind of touches on two things with me: racism and religion. So there's a video that's been posted of an American quote unquote missionary who is in Uganda, and he is cursing and calling this Ugandan hotel worker vile names, racial slurs, and saying that he's here to help Uganda, and that Jesus sent him here to do X, Y, to help Uganda and all this. He's been arrested by the Ugandan police because he actually put his hands on the guy. This really hurt me a lot personally, because when I was in Iraq, serving in Iraq, our guards were both Ugandan and Peruvian, and the Ugandan guards were some of the. Now, don't get me wrong. With every situation, you got some not good, not so good folks,
Yeah.
and you got some good folks. But there was this one guy, Mike Bond. Bond had a master's degree from a Ugandan university. He was in the Ugandan military at one point and was a demolitions expert in the Ugandan military. And I asked him, we had lunch one day, and I said, "Why are you over here, working in Iraq, as basically a security guard? You got a master's degree, man." He said, "Well, I'm saving my money to go back home and start a construction company." I said, "That makes sense," but I said, you got a whole master's degree, man. What? You can't do that back home?" He said, "It's not a lot of money back home." He said, "I make more here than I could ever make back there." And that's like $700 a month that they was paying him.
Wow.
His life was worth less than $10,000 to them a year. And the thing is, like, now don't get me wrong, those guys were very proficient. Those Ugandans and Peruvians, like when it hit the fan, those
they
guys,
on go. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they definitely on go mode. They TTG for real. And so the thing is, it's like it bothered me so bad thinking about it. I emailed him, but I never got a response back. I hope he's doing well. But this guy, this Ugandan hotel worker, had the patience of Job as this man was hitting him, berating him, cussing at him, saying all kinds of stuff. So the reason I said this touches on racism and religion is because this guy is obviously racist, number one.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Number two, I have a real problem with white churches sometimes sending missionaries and emissaries and whoever to some of these places when you have folks right here in America that you won't even help, don't like, don't care for, and in fact support discrimination against. But you're doing God's work by going over there. You need to do God's work at home too.
At home. Charity starts at home.
You can't do both. Like you can't do God's work over there and then be racist at home. If you don't like me here, you don't like me there.
Right.
And I had to have a conversation with one of my coworkers when I was in the military over there in Iraq. So to get into the dining facility, you had to show your ID. And so these guys standing out there every single day checking these IDs. And eventually, they try to be friendly. They get to know who you are. And one guy was like, "Hello, so-and-so." And he's also trying to learn English.
Right.
Just helping him learn English. And so, I understand that being in a male-dominated area is kind of scary for you, especially in a combat zone, considering the level of military sexual trauma that goes on in the military. I understand that. But the thing is, the people you have to worry about more than anybody isn't those Ugandans and Peruvians, because they know they will get killed over there for something like that, and their bodies be left there, and nobody find out what happened to them. I think you would be more worried about the people that share your uniform over there.
Bingo.
And so while I'm sitting there and they're like, it's just really scary and really creepy that this guy knows my name now. I'm like, he knows your name. Okay. I said, has he ever said anything inappropriate? They was
Right.
like, no. Has he ever done anything inappropriate?
Nah.
No. Has he ever looked at you like you was a sandwich? No. I said,
So what's the problem?
so why does it make you scared? She's like, you just don't get it. I said, no, what it makes me think is that if I was a little bit darker and had an accent,
You
You
look
would
at me
view
the
me
same way. Word.
and she didn't really understand it at the time, but I think that maybe a couple hours later when she came back to me and said, hey, man, I'm sorry. Like, I think she got it after she thought about it.
Right.
But the thing is, those conversations need to happen. And the thing is, I just don't like these churches sending those missions over there.
I'm not gonna agree with you totally because I go to
You
I
never
go to,
agree with me totally,
No,
though.
I don't. But I go to Africa every year.
Yes.
So I don't have a problem.
But
with
you're a person of
any,
color.
But it doesn't matter.
I think it does.
I don't
I'll tell
think
you
it
why.
does.
I'll tell you why.
But let me
When you finish.
I think that if you're helping, you're there to help, and that's all that really matters because our situation here is vastly and gravely different from their situation over there. Those countries do not have basic things that we have over here that we constantly take for granted. Even our homeless here are sometimes in a better position than regular everyday working people over there. So I don't have a problem with anybody going over there to help. Of course, I'm not going to put it all on these churches because there's a bad apple in every bunch. You
I agree.
can't screen everybody. But if you're going over there and you're really trying to help somebody and you're trying to make a difference in someone's life, I don't have a problem with you doing that because that is God's work, because that's man helping out his fellow man. And it shouldn't matter if you're black, blue, purple, or green. If you see me hurting or if you see me falling down on the street, I would expect you to reach your hand out and help me up.
And I agree with you on that.
Yeah, but it seems like this gentleman walked over there where he was over there
Yeah.
with a superiority God complex.
Yeah.
And that's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
I mean, whenever you go, like you said before, whenever you go over there, you go there to genuinely help.
Mhm.
But if you're going over there to basically put yourself on a pedestal.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where the problem comes
Yeah,
into
no,
play.
I agree with you.
That's where the
that
problem
situation
comes into
I
play.
agree with. I'm not gonna peg it on all of the churches.
Oh, yeah,
I'm gonna
no
say
doubt.
that unfortunately we get stupid people everywhere. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And it sounds like this just happened to be a particularly
Well,
stupid
and
person.
see, here's my thing. If you're going over there to help, let's say you're going over there to build a well, right? I want you to keep that same energy at home.
Yeah, build a
If you're
well at
going
the
over there
crib.
going over there to build a well,
Mhm.
I want you to also send bottled water to Flint, Michigan.
Come on, man.
If you're going over there to give people electricity, I want you to maybe pay a power bill or two in the hood. If you're going over there to build some homes, I want you to come back home and feed the homeless. Like I never have had a problem with people who are consistent in their mission work because there are missions that happen overseas,
Yeah.
but there are missions that happen here too.
True indeed.
And the thing is, I want people to be there in the spirit of actually showing people how Christ acts, as opposed to just saying they're over there doing Christ's work. That's my issue.
Yeah.
I didn't disagree with anything you just said.
Mhm.
Like, and that's my issue.
Yeah.
I think the problem comes where there are churches out there who espouse certain ideologies, and there are a lot of them. Now, okay, let me just take a step back. Let me take one step back, and let's just talk about Christianity in general in America. So somebody posted it on Facebook yesterday, that said, why is church in America still so segregated? I said the thought process is of Jesus the liberator versus Jesus the justifier. Some people feel as though they are liberated by Jesus because black liberation theology, as talked about by Dr. James H. Cone, said that any theology of Jesus Christ that does not preach liberation is not a true theology, because Jesus said, I came to break those chains, break that bondage. You know what I'm saying? But then by some people believe that Jesus justifies what they do and what they believe. And so it's kind of in a box. It says that, and they use the fact that Jesus said, I came not to destroy the law, but to fulfill the law. But the thing is, the problem is that law that he was speaking of was spiritual law. And the law that they're talking about is laws in America that were created
By man.
not with us in mind and by man. And so they feel that as though they are justified by man. And so then she asked me, is this the same Jesus? I said, well, let's be perfectly honest. Black Jesus in black churches ain't even the same Jesus in every church. So that's a whole different conversation to have. But what I'm saying is that some of these churches out here that I've been to look at the struggles of America, of people in America, not as missions and things to be tackled and as things to be addressed, but as that's your problem. But let me go over here and justify who I am by helping these poor quote unquote savages
Right.
over here.
Disenfranchised.
You know, you got poor kids, like, and I get it. Trust me, I've seen abject poverty in overseas places in those countries that Donald Trump called, what he called them. But the thing is, I've also seen abject
You
poverty.
wasn't trying to give up no more dollars, huh?
Exactly, I wasn't trying to give him more dollars.
I was gonna look. I was reaching in my pocket just now. I was like, well, I can go ahead and
Go
I
ahead.
can carry
Go
that
ahead,
tab.
Go ahead, send that baby a
Yeah, I
little
can
cash
hit, yeah,
app.
send a
You know
little
what I'm
cash
saying?
app. Send that buck over there to
But
him.
my thing is, it's like, we got these issues here. Like,
Right, right at home, man.
I want to keep that same energy. Some people use those missions to try to work their way into heaven while still hating people at home.
Mm-hmm.
I kid you not, I told somebody, a mutual friend of ours, actually, Natty. I told somebody, I said, all that finessing and flexing and pretending to be perfect ain't gonna fix that hole in your heart.
It ain't.
And that's what we seeing with a lot of stuff.
No matter what you do, how much you do.
All that flexing ain't gonna fix that hole in your heart.
Well, I think honestly, it boils down to your intention and why you do it, which you kind of touched on already. But you can go over there and get your, plus points on being a good person to try to balance out how
Right.
horrible you are at home on a
Right.
regular
Right.
basis. And so it's really for your own benefit.
That's it.
Yeah, you help some people in the meantime, but the primary purpose of it is you really make yourself feel better about yourself.
And speaking of the church, man, I got to get this off my chest. I saw an article that just came out that said that 300 Catholic priests in the Philadelphia area been doing that old
The pedophile stuff.
yeah.
Can,
I'ma tell you like this.
Can,
I
can
won't-
somebody just shut it all down?
I won't smoke with the whole archdiocese at this
Man.
point.
It's so
Like, I won't
easy to
smoke.
fix. I just wish they would just, for one, ordain women and stop holding these priests to such a high standard that they can't have relations.
It's not
They're
even a
human.
biblical standard.
Like, let them get out what they need to get out and
Yeah.
ordain women.
Man,
like,
I-
cut
Different
it out.
version of the purge.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to. I
Ridiculous.
really want to go in detail on that, and I
Yes.
really want to talk about it. But I noticed the PG-13
Yeah,
version
we can't.
today.
That's why I was watching what I said. We can't really go in.
Oh,
But
I
just-
got-
I
Yeah,
just
but
feel
you gotta
like-
have time to unpack that too,
I
because
got-
that's deep.
I got
Yeah.
so much anger, and the fact that they were using gold crosses to show could be targeted for that. Did you not read that?
Mm-mm.
No.
There was
it
an
just-
article.
It never surprised
There was an
me with
article
the-
that said that they were using gold crosses on children. They were giving children gold crosses to identify the kids who could be used for that purpose.
So, how
They
do
was
you
marketing. What
identify? I mean,
so
like,
disturbing.
is it some sort of
You know what?
agreement somewhere,
I
like
wish
a underlying?
Here's my thing: the fact that 300 "quote unquote" men of God
Come on, man.
sat here and created a whole ring of sick. Let's move on to the next one because we got. I'm about to get real. I'm about to go left.
Yeah.
Des Moines, Iowa. There's a video out right now from the body cam of this cop who pulled over these two young black males, obviously profiling them. Said he smelled marijuana in the car, which they always
They
smell
always
marijuana.
say that. God knows.
Let me ask you a
Oh,
question.
God.
Everybody in here has been pulled over, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
How many of us have been pulled over and the cop said he smelled marijuana? Raise your hand. Never happened to you?
Nope.
Wow. Wow. That means you on the straight and narrow. Good,
I
good
am.
job.
Yeah, yeah, damn unicorn.
Now, that don't mean. that don't mean.
That's a
that
dollar. And she's standing right there too. She's standing there like the bouncer.
Yeah.
That
That's
don't
funny.
mean I ain't never sweated no bullets because it was some in the vicinity. But that was never said.
I've been told I smell alcohol, I smell weed, and I'm like, you don't smell nothing but this Chanel Chance, but you know, you can do what you want to do.
Did she? Wasn't that a humble brag right there?
What?
I'm just saying.
Did she just flex on her?
No, because it gets on your
Heavily.
nerves. Like,
She-
you just
she
want to pull me
over-
over because I'm black. Like,
She over there
stop.
drip.
Right.
She over there
Chanel.
drip. She over there
Chanel
dripping in finesse.
Chance.
Jerry's over there dripping in finesse,
Okay.
letting you know what it is.
Yeah, what the
No,
lick
'cause
read?
I mean, 'cause I appreciate being blunt and honest. And so instead of making something up when you see me coming home from work and I'm in like a 3-piece suit and you're telling me that you smell weed and alcohol and it's like 4:30 in the afternoon, just be honest with yourself and be honest with me.
Now, granted, that don't mean that I have not been smoking or drinking. But that's not the point.
That just, it aggravates me because they use that. It's like, you
Yeah.
know, like you said, it's racial profiling.
Bingo.
That's not the point.
That's
I've
the,
always
that's
gotten
a
tinted
segue.
windows.
You get put over for tinted windows.
Yeah,
Damn, they still doing
I
that?
remember I got pulled over. Yeah, like some years ago, I got pulled over 3 times by the same police officer in a different area, but within the same like neighborhood.
Don't you just hate
For
he
my
was trying.
tent.
He was trying to flirt.
Nah,
No, he's probably being a jerk.
he forgot that he'd already pulled me over because the last time he did it, I was like, hey, and he was like, you know, asking me about the tent or whatever, and I was like, yeah, I talked to you a couple days ago. He was like, oh yeah. I said, why'd you pull me over today? He was like, I was just checking on your tent. He was like, but go ahead since we
Deja
already
vu.
talked about it. And I was like,
Right.
You were doing this again?
And see, that's
We're doing
why
this again.
I'm so nervous about buying these rims for my car.
Don't do it.
I'm not gonna get like no big chrome or nothing like that. I just want to get some color match to
Don't do it.
color. Okay.
Don't do
All
it.
right.
keep highlighting
Yeah,
yourself.
Yeah.
just keep factory mags,
Yeah,
man.
seriously.
Yeah, don't do it.
All right.
Telling you like my daddy told me. He said, don't make yourself a target.
I'm trying to be.
It's a shame that we
incognito.
got to act
I
different.
mean,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
already are. The color of your
Yeah.
skin is the target.
Yeah,
Don't
we gotta get. Yeah, we gotta get
add
low.
extra
But
to
don't
it.
do
Yeah.
anything to, you know.
Let me just go and tint these windows.
Mhm.
Give me a new bumper and grill and be
There you
good.
go.
Mm-hmm.
There
That's
you
all.
go.
I gotta get that racing stripe too though.
Got to. Yeah.
Gotta get that matte black racing stripe.
Yeah.
I ain't
Then,
mad at you.
yeah. Then they
I can
think
dig it.
you know you tint the window. They might think you're a white boy.
I want to get that. I want to get the Hellcat hood though, so
Yeah,
they
the
really
cow
will think
hood.
I'm one. Yeah, I want to get that, so they really will think I'm one. What?
Nice.
That's not too. I didn't say anything. I said the Hellcat. It's
Oh, that's the
she
name
scared
of
that's
the
the name
car.
of the car. That's the name of the car.
She over there
She-
checking.
She
She
running
over
that
there
tab.
making sure.
She's running that tab.
Dang. I got $2.
Oh yeah, she told y'all ahead of time.
Yeah. She gonna walk
Set her
out.
up
Which
a
I
Cash
talked
App.
to her about that because she wouldn't tell people, and she'll just walk up to him and was like, "Hey, you owe me $3."
Hey, wait a minute. You trying to
Hold
run
on.
game
And
on
they
me?
was
Hold on,
like-
Devo.
right now.
Devo.
But seriously, they'll be like, "Huh?"
Hold
She's
on,
like,
little mama.
"Well, you said 3 words, and I count and I add dollars. I collect dollars for
Yeah.
bad words. You owe me 3." And I was like, "Don't do that." I was like, "Tell people ahead of time."
Hold on, Devo.
Little mama hustle game is on point.
She is the
Right.
next Oprah. I'm saying it's coming. It's coming.
You
Why?
see what she's doing?
I see it. We gonna claim that in the name of Jesus right there. So, so speaking of something else that makes me mad, there's a video out there of a beauty shop owner who punches this woman in front of her children.
Hell to the no.
So there was that's $1.
No.
So
Oh, snitch.
Yeah.
You a
Wait,
snitch.
wait, no,
I did.
Hold on.
Said that.
See now,
Nobody.
see now we
Nobody.
have look now.
Jersey.
We have to
Look
put
at that
something
little
right.
snitch.
I mean, I look at it like
I'm
this. Hey,
pointing.
Yeah,
if it's in
you
the,
a 90s
if
baby.
it's in the Bible, it's not a curse word.
Right.
How dare you disrespect me like
I
that?
just want everybody to know this ninja just pointed at me and said it was her.
He pulled a Nino Brown, didn't he? He pulled a Nino Brown.
Jersey Akbar, the brother from the bank.
He just pulled a Nino.
This is bigger than Nino Brown.
It's bigger than Knowledge in the Kind of Sleepy podcast.
I'm trying to tell you. I'm just saying.
Bro, that was fun.
There she is, Jersey Akbar, the educated brother from the bank.
Remind me
man.
never to commit a crime with you. It was her.
It was her. Oh,
Okay,
man.
keep talking. I'm not gonna commit no more crimes on your behalf. Dry snitching. Hey.
Oh, you real
man.
tickled.
Oh, I'm having a good time with this one. But no, there was a beauty shop owner in Oklahoma. One of the kids had walked out with like some eyelashes or something, and the woman came back and gave the eyelashes back. And the guy comes out and confronts her about it, and she's like, "Oh, get out my way!" And she turns away, and she puts her hands on his shoulder, like she nudges his shoulder, and he cocks back and hits her with the force of like, 10,000 Mike Tysons.
The thing that bothered me when I saw that,
Spite.
though, is like, for one, there was somebody filming it,
Mm-hmm.
a black person filming it, and then there was also another black lady standing there with her. There is no way on God's green earth that I would be able to stand there and watch another sister get hit in the mouth and not interject
And bleeding from the mouth.
Right.
in front of her children.
Now you said you want to smoke with her friend, didn't it?
Right.
Oh, of
It's
course.
similar to what Jersey said. That's why everybody's focusing on the guy
Yeah.
just because, he's of a different
The
race or
fool
whatever.
filming
No,
it,
no.
the one standing there
The
with
friend,
her.
yeah, the friend stood there and just literally right there and watched. She could have at least reached up the block. She saw the swing coming.
Yeah.
I feel about her the same way I feel about Omarosa. All my skin folk ain't kinfolk.
No.
I feel you. It's just I don't like this generation and age of we film everything. Like
But don't step in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but don't step in. Like I remember I had to say something to somebody at the diner one night.
All footage,
Like, yeah,
no
put
action.
the phone down. We're not gonna do that. Put the phone down. We're not filming nothing. Like you either gonna get involved or you gonna sit there and you gonna be quiet.
You gonna eat your little chicken and waffle.
Yeah,
Be quiet.
I-
Yeah, because it's
I
not.
don't- I ain't
those
doing
certain
that.
situations are not for entertainment.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Nah,
And
this
to be
real life.
posting on social
Right.
media. Like, no, we're not doing that.
Now, there was a situation that happened yesterday. Yesterday I was at Incin IB with my
Right.
boys, and I told you about this yesterday. I said that Incin IB has the most polite security I've ever seen.
Don't they?
The most polite
I
security.
think all of them from Miami.
So
They just seem like they just got off a beach. They just be chilling.
this dude was obviously upset about something. I don't know what happened, but he was obviously upset about something. They was asking him to leave, and like he literally got 3 inches from one of them security guards' faces, and he was barking at him, and security is standing there, and they got him surrounded. But ain't nobody lay a finger on him. Now, where I'm from, and some of the places I tend to frequent,
Boy, look here.
you get that close to security.
But look here.
Laid out.
They letting you have it, point
Yeah.
blank, period.
Yeah, they gonna stretch you out like a
But it was
like
so-
a slinky.
It was crazy because like I'm watching this go on, and the manager brings him his tab. The dude signs his tab or whatever. So they got their money, and then they still like and you could tell that Chet and the boys were still kind of talking some cash stuff to him,
Right.
antagonizing the situation a little bit. But then I see the manager step away and get his phone out, and I said, "Hey fellas, look, he calling the police. Watch this." And so as soon as he gets on the phone, like he had a police officer's direct number.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And so he looks over to the park and he waves his arm,
Mhm.
and the police officer rides his little bicycle over there.
Mhm.
And I'm like, yep, see?
But you know what? I can appreciate the business sense of that because you
It does
don't
make sense.
you don't want to create an environment where people feel like
It's
it's
gonna be drama out
hostile or
here.
it's
Yeah,
gonna
it's
be
gonna be
drama.
drama.
It's Incin IB, it's downtown. They attract a diverse crowd.
Right.
Let's keep everything nice and calm so everybody feels
Now,
safe and get him out of here.
And
quietly.
I appreciate that. But my thing is, at a certain point, it becomes self-defense.
Yeah, but you know
But
what?
you know what you signed up for.
Yeah,
It's
you know.
security- yeah.
Thank you.
You know what you signed
you're
up
in
for.
security. Like
Right.
that's the one thing that all my friends that do security tell me is that you have to cooler heads prevail. You know that you're
Right.
dealing with people who are intoxicated.
Bingo.
Whatever, on drugs, whatever. You have to stay calm and try to diffuse the situation calmly before it has to go to an aggressive level.
I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do an experiment.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm gonna do an experiment.
Oh gosh.
I'm gonna go to Incin IB this week,
Oh God.
Mm-mm.
and I'm gonna ask to speak to the manager, and I'm gonna say, "Hey, how can I be security here?"
Mhm.
And I want to work security at Incin IB just to see how they get down.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Fool want to shoot somebody.
Right.
I'm not gonna have no gun. You don't give me that.
Still, why would you think of that?
I just think it's interesting.
That's
Incin
a
IB.
horrible idea for
Incin
you.
Ivy is going to poison Ivy. They gonna have to change Incin Ivy to poison Ivy.
I
You done
think
turned the
no.
whole building green.
Come
Yeah,
on,
he-
man.
he getting
No,
fired. He getting
no,
fired.
No.
I think it's first night.
Y'all think it's a bad idea?
I think you're gonna get fired
Yes.
your first night.
Yeah, well, all right.
The old folks say, go somewhere and set you down.
Yeah. Had to change
Talk
Incin
about,
Ivy
talk
to
about they don't have
to
guns.
blood and funeral
You gonna have
flowers.
guns.
blood and funeral flowers out there. It ain't Incin Ivy no more. It just
And already see it right now.
Slow singing and firework.
Somebody
bro.
gonna push
Yeah.
this man and he gonna pull something out. Bang. Oh,
fried
I'm
chicken.
gonna
They
leave my firearm in the car.
they
You're
got to
not.
change
So you
Incin
can leave
Ivy.
the firearm in the car. You got 15 blades on you somewhere.
Right.
yeah.
They got to change Incin Ivy to
3.
fried chicken and fold up chairs. It just, I just no.
You
no,
got
Lord,
you gotta know your
please.
limits.
Please, please let that application get denied, Lord. Lord, I pray. I pray on the blood of the Lamb.
You
Lord.
may have to call and drop a dime.
A dime on this nigga. For
We had
real.
an anonymous tip.
Hey, that bald black guy y'all got, he's a problem. Fire him immediately.
He's an insurgent.
Oh my god. I'm not messing with y'all.
Oh.
So speaking of people, at work and having to deal with stuff in self-defense, there was a bus driver in Palm Springs, Florida, West Palm Beach, Florida, who was spit on and called a racial slur by a patron, and he proceeded to mollywhop this individual,
Sound about right.
stomped an entire mud hole
Sound about right.
into his hind parts,
Nice.
and Caitlin came around like, yeah, I know he's
She's
finna cuss now.
Yeah,
She was waiting on that one.
He finna cuss.
She was waiting on that one.
Nope, not finna cuss. Not finna cuss, baby girl. Ha ha. But
I'm
no.
only down 4 quarters. I'm feeling good right now. how long we got left in the game, coach?
So he stomped an entire mud hole into this gentleman's hind parts and got fired for it. Here's what I think is beautiful about this situation, though.
Mhm.
The union is actually backing him and saying that our drivers should not be subjected
Yeah.
At all.
to this type of activity and behavior.
Mhm.
Just because we're bus drivers doesn't mean we have to put up with stuff.
No, we're not punching bags or
Like
No,
that-
and
like
that's
cups.
just
Because y'all remember that
disgusting.
Cleveland bus driver from a couple years ago
You
Knock
done
that girl
did
out.
look.
Yeah, when that girl spit on him and hit him a couple times.
Yeah, and
He hit her with that
he hit-
how
he
you
hit-
how you can Yoed up flame. That sound like everything on Street Fighter.
He gave her a 100
Oh my
hand slap, didn't he?
But she had a chin of steel
He
though.
Bruh, she took
uppercutted
that-
the
she took that-
Jesus
She
out
took,
that shit.
she took that punch like a
He
G.
sent her into another atmosphere.
I'm gonna tell you like
Stratosphere.
I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm gonna tell you like this. If he had hit me like that with that old man strength,
Oh, look, he punched it to the next level of the game.
He seemed like, yeah,
I'm
that was crazy. Man, seemed like he be outside chopping wood.
trying to tell you.
He hit the at that girl.
With his bare hands.
Yeah.
That was
chopping wood.
that was a Mike Tyson uppercut from his early days.
What?
Bruh.
From TKO. Remember that joint?
Yeah. No, that was that Mike Tyson punch from back when he used to walk to the ring with that dyed Pepsi cutoff shirt on. You know what I'm saying?
The
He fought
sweatshirt.
police dogs
Right.
back in the day.
Right.
So he fought police dogs.
He was like, this German Shepherd ain't coming at me. Like,
Oh,
what's
man.
eating you, buddy? A German Shepherd.
German
That's what.
Y'all stupid.
Oh man.
Oh, I miss Boondocks.
I don't think he should have lost his job. Like,
Uh-uh.
you know, I'm sorry. You can't spit. For one, spitting on somebody is the most degrading, disgusting thing you can do, and it is a form of
A
violence.
physical- yeah, it's physical
you,
assault.
You assaulted them first, so.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. I'm actually a pretty level-headed guy.
Mhm.
I've been in situations where typically violence is actually my last resort. It's usually not my first go-to because I know when I go there,
Mhm.
It's hard to get back.
we going all the way.
Mhm.
If you spit
Oh,
on
yeah.
me, you gonna see Jesus.
The thing is about spitting on me.
Even if he denies you entry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna set the meeting up.
I'm gonna come back. I'm be like, now come on,
Speaking
bro.
up
She
too
spit on me,
hard.
dog. You gonna be like,
mm.
I mean, kind of good. My faithful kind of servant. Come on in. Yeah.
Mhm.
But
It's a
my
faithful
thing is,
kind
you spit on me.
Mhm.
It's a different planet. Like
Yes.
I can't. Like my thing is, I know that me personally,
Mhm.
like you have certain things that trigger you.
Mhm.
Right.
I have two major triggers:
Mhm.
threatening to kill me and spitting on me. Because where I'm from,
Yeah.
how we grew up, you threaten to kill me, I'm liable to believe that you're actually going to do it.
No, you know, I'm different. I have triggers. My biggest trigger is my dog. If
You-
you tell me you're gonna hurt my dog or do something
You
to my
said
dog,
that so
I'll probably
scarily.
put you in the hospital.
That was the scariest.
I've done it before.
That's okay. Well, let's move right along.
No, moving on.
That scared, bro. That kind of scared me actually.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna-
honest. I don't get really mad when people threaten me and stuff. I laugh at it. I think it's funny. But if you
Yeah.
do something to my dog, or if I see you hurt an animal,
If
it's
you-
different.
If your baby wasn't here, I would ask you what your triggers are, because I know you got a gangster past. We know you have a dog.
I think she was agreeing with Jersey.
He's
Mhm.
like,
Oh, you agreeing with
he's
Jersey?
like, yeah, you're not
Air
gonna,
high five
you're not
on
gonna,
that one.
you're not gonna touch the dogs.
All right. It's just got real light skin in here.
You
All
can
right,
punch,
it's-
you can punch me in the
Right.
face, but don't
I
touch the
have
dog.
triggers, though.
Pretty much. Yeah, I don't know. It's
I
weird.
don't think I have
No.
It's
You
strange.
got-
I'll
you
admit
got
it's
it.
different. It's different. Yeah.
Dog.
I think because I see them as helpless.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think people who hurt helpless creatures like kids or
KK just
disturbing.
said that Miss
Ye-
EP's trigger is her dog.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah.
So
Well, I don't know what kind of dog you got that you look at as helpless.
well, I have a little thing. She a little thing.
I don't, man. Look,
her dog is small and diabetical, so I can
Oh, yeah,
understand that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's like threatening Big Mama.
Yeah. I can't.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm
it's,
saying?
I don't like people who hurt kids, who hurt animals.
Your
or
dog
if I
make a
see you
mean
do
sweet potato
something
pie.
to an elderly person.
I feel
I'll
you.
go off.
I
And
feel you.
see, your dog is a dog and an elderly person, so it all works out. Like,
Let's stop making jokes.
okay,
You
You're
tried to slip
borderline.
that one in.
Yeah, you're borderline.
your dog is a dog at 12 years old is the equivalent of 84 years.
Mhm.
So you do have an older dog. per
Oh yeah,
se,
most definitely.
you
Most
know.
definitely. I've had her since she
Dog
was
had to eat
one.
I had to smooth that over before
Yeah,
you
you
stabbed
did.
me in the eye.
Dog had to eat soft food. Dog had to eat soft food.
Dog drinking Ensure.
They got,
So
I feel
dog
bad
it-
for laughing.
they got doggy,
speaking of a bus, I want to give a shout out to
tried it.
Misha Battle
doggy
of Baltimore, Maryland. We posted her Facebook Live where she stood up to this young man
Shout
who
out,
was
Misha.
who was beating his girlfriend on the bus. He literally beat her up on the bus,
Mhm.
and Misha, like her and this other guy who was not in the video,
Mhm.
stood up to him, and she told him, "Hit that man like you just hit that girl."
Mm,
And dude backed down and got off the bus.
that's nice.
And so she stood up to him. She was like, "No, you're not getting off this bus." She told the girl, "You're not getting off this bus. You getting help." Because the thing is, I know if he beating you like that in public, he beating them kids like that.
Mm,
And I know if he beating you and them kids like that, baby girl, eventually he's gonna kill you.
Yeah.
mm.
And so the thing is, she said she wouldn't let her get off the bus. Misha's young. She's a mother of 4. And she said that she'd been through it and she'd seen it. And she said that she was going to be late to work, but she was not going to let this young lady get off that bus and go back into the arms of this man who was possibly going to kill her.
God
and the
bless
thing
her.
is, knowing that if she had got off that bus, he was going to punish her, not for what he was mad about, but for not doing what he said at that time. And it was going to get even worse that evening. So I'm hoping that young lady got some help and all that. But I think that in situations like that, like a lot of times, like the temptation to just mind your business when stuff like that is going on in public is really, really strong.
It's rough.
Because I've been in a situation where I have checked somebody for doing something I thought was abusive to who they was with, and the woman got mad at me
It
for
happens.
checking them.
You know, it's crazy you mentioned this story. So I follow, you know, the singer Monica Brown
Yeah.
on Instagram, and she had recently made a post about her and her brother. I guess were like at a Walgreens or something, and they were leaving, and they saw this man beating his wife in a car. I mean, pretty badly. And so her and her brother, being the two lovely hood people that they are, and I respect them for
I love it.
they stepped in and they stopped it. And the disgusting part of the story that she wrote was that the woman told her to mind her business and to leave it alone because you just made it worse.
You made it worse. That's exactly what it is.
And it sucked because you can tell Monica was torn. Like, you know, thank God her and her brother had the gumption to step in and stop that situation. But then you're dealing with somebody who's ungrateful, I guess, in that situation, or I don't know what you call it.
Well, you can't really say, I'm not going to say ungrateful.
Okay.
But she's just looking at it like, damn, you might have to sound me a death certificate. That's in the Bible.
No, you didn't.
I said, damn. I said, damn, like the water. Like the water go down the dam.
If you keep saying it, I'll add on more points.
Now, we got to put some stipulations now. If it's in the Bible, I feel like we can say it.
Because I knew as soon as you said it, I watched her turn around. She turned around so quick.
Hey. What you?
Good hearing.
She turned around like the old granddad. Hey, what y'all kids doing it now?
She like having that censor button.
But, you know, it was like, you know, and I guess she feel like a sense of like why? Because, you know, it's a lose-lose situation for the woman, actually. You know what I mean? Because, like you say before, if somebody steps in and now he's upset because somebody's stopping him from doing what he proceeded to do. Now she's sitting here like, now I'm good right now, but when we get home, it's gonna be a problem. So, you know, it's conflicting issues, you know.
Right.
And like, you know, and I was in a situation before with like a friend of mine, and it was actually, he was the one being abused. That's not funny.
That happens.
That's not
I'm
funny.
sorry.
That's
I'm
not
sorry.
funny.
I'm
It's not. It's
sorry.
not.
I don't mean
It's
to.
not
I'm
funny.
sorry.
I mean, it wasn't
God,
like
I'm
she
sorry.
was. It wasn't like she was, you know, two-piecing them in the mouth. But every time she got inebriated, she always wanted to get up and hit on him and scream at him and do. So I was like, yo, look. I had to pull this old lady to the side. I said, look, at the end of the day, that's your man. I said, now, if he decides to reciprocate the actions that you're giving him, I said, he's going to jail. I said, now, would you want that to happen to you? He ain't gonna put his hands on me. I said, okay. So I was like, bro, you might not want to put your hands on her, but you might just want to put your hands up. And if your hands like accidentally, while you defending yourself, guarding your face, your arm, like decide to push her or accidentally hit her in the nose. Because some people need to know. If you don't fight back, you'll continuously be a punching bag, whether you're a male or a female.
Yeah.
I was in a situation where, you know, somebody decided it was a good idea to put their hands on me.
Hit me and watch what happens.
And I was like,
Okay.
I was like, okay, it's time for me to leave. And the person kept hitting me. And so my thing is, the reason that I'm really, really aware of what I do in a situation like that is for two reasons. Number one, I do not believe in hitting women. And number two, I really, really like my Second Amendment rights. And I know the moment I do anything like that, I no longer have a Second Amendment right.
Yeah.
And so the thing is, what I did was I grabbed her by both of her arms and lifted her off the ground and was like, please stop. Like, please, let's go over here to the corner so that you can no longer punch me. And we're just going to stay right here until you're calm.
I'm going to put you across my knee.
All right, moving right along.
You was
across my
taking that
knee.
elsewhere.
John Caver of 7... John Caver of Selma, Alabama. 77
nasty
years
self.
old. He's 77 years old. He's just been found guilty of shooting his son in the chest
Nope.
over some chicken wings.
I don't even want to talk about this.
The family was watching Sunday football and an argument erupted over the food. His wife tried to separate them, and John Caver shot his son in the chest.
Yo, Miss EP's face right
His
now
son
is
survived.
a whole mood. But
But here's the thing. So the daddy, Mr. Caver, has I don't know if his eye is lazy or it just quit.
shut up.
He has what the old folk call walleye.
Why
But
don't you
like
just stop?
one eye looks straight and the other eye looks at the wall, no matter where you at.
No, see this probably happened every Sunday.
Yeah.
And the more he drank, the further that eye go. I'm serious. I saw this when I was a little kid. My mama had a friend. I ain't gonna call her name. But the more she drunk, the more her eye wandered further away from the other one.
Yo, isn't that the craziest
And so
thing?
in this particular occasion, that eye got too far away from the other one, and he went and grabbed that pistol.
He thought somebody was sneaking up on him.
Man,
Eyes in the back of his head.
Y'all ain't worth nothing right now, boy.
Hey.
just started shooting
He started
everywhere.
shooting everywhere. Hey,
They wasn't seeing out of eye.
the gun was cocked, the eye was cocked, everything cocked.
Tense situation.
Oh, God.
They-
Fireworks.
oh,
Oh
they,
man.
they had to get a new view of the whole situation.
I know
He
this is
he
terrible.
didn't see where he was coming from.
He couldn't see.
You are stupid.
He didn't see where he
Can
was
I
coming
have a
from.
small confession moment? This is actually kind of funny. So you know I'm out here living my best life, being single, dating, acting a fool.
Hey.
And,
Ooh,
you know,
on the next episode, we're going to bring on an eligible bachelor for Jersey.
how about no?
I was about to say, what? You got
You-
horrible
come
ideas
on.
today.
You know your sister is different. We're not going to do that. I don't poke.
You're on a
No,
roll.
we don't do that. No. I'm secretive with my shit.
It's
Anywho,
about a puppy.
sorry, I know.
Vibe.
I got you. Anywho, but so I met a gentleman, and so I don't want to tell this because some people might be listening. Okay, so I always meet the new potentials in a public place, obviously, to be on the safe side, because I don't know if people are crazy. So we're, he was talking to me, we're at the gym. He's like, you all right? Everything good with you? I'm like, yeah, I'm straight. And then something told me to look, and I looked. And like his one eye was on me, but then the other eye just started going elsewhere. Let's just say that's the first and last time we got together.
So he had a glass eye?
I don't know
He
what
had
the
a
heck was
wandering
going. He
eye.
had that one weird eye. Like I'm not.
He
cool
had
with
a
that.
wandering eye.
It was strange.
My Uncle Willie. My Uncle
Wonder
Willie.
which way
What's
it's
his
going.
nickname? Nomad?
Shut up.
See y'all.
You almost got me too.
See y'all.
I almost really said his name, but I'm not.
Let's see
Papa
y'all.
was a rolling stone.
Yeah, but I had an uncle. I had an Uncle Nate and my Uncle Willie. They were the same way. Both of them shot each other out. Both of them had glass eyes.
What? Wait, what?
That
So
Yeah.
you just got you
They're
got
my great uncles.
You got a family full of pirates in this month.
Wait.
Right.
So we got two uncles with glass eyes.
Both of them.
Was it their sister that you talked about the last time? Auntie somebody.
No. This is my granddaddy brother.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's their
my
niece.
God.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Apple still didn't fall too far from the tree. Okay, all right. Okay.
I cannot wait to come to your family reunion.
Everybody gonna have
When
glass
can we come?
eyes.
Hey, look, off the chain, man.
When your family reunion?
It's every 4th of July.
Did everybody got patches?
Mm-mm.
No.
We
Y'all
do
gonna get y'all vests ready?
Where Uncle
We
Willie
gonna do
and
a
Uncle
ep- we gonna
Uncle
do
Willie
an
and Uncle Nate,
episode.
Nah, we
they
need
passed.
vests
They
and
already in the
helmets.
Yeah, I was
essence.
about to say I ain't trying to get plugged.
Right.
Hey.
We need vests and helmets and protective eyelids.
They
Yeah.
like to shoot people, and you take stuff too
No,
far.
they did it when they was kids. They did it with slingshots. They ain't like shoot each other in the eye.
okay.
Yeah, they did.
So when you start talking about vests and helmets, I'm like, I
But
ride
then- wait, but
motorcycles.
see-
What are you talking about? I ain't in no club no more. What you
But
talking
I
about?
can't-
Bulletproof.
I can't hear story like I get mad at videos online. I get mad at stories that's halfway told. Like I need details, Natty. So did they do it like back to back, like pow,
Yeah,
got you,
yeah.
ouch. Okay, I'm gonna get you back, pow.
Yeah,
Now
just
they
like that,
both-
at the
like,
same
At the
time.
same time.
At the same time.
It wasn't like 2 weeks later.
At the same time.
That's
Same
tough,
time.
man. I mean, if my eye was going, I'd be trying to hold it.
Hey, they built. Hey,
stupid.
they was
That's
built for it
tough,
tough now. They was built
Okay.
for it tough.
Let's move right along.
It was literally an eye for an eye.
Left the whole world blind. So
But whoever got hit first,
Uncle Nate.
Uncle Nate the hardest. Cause he
clap
still
back.
could shoot right. He still
Yeah.
could aim good with one eye.
You know, a lot of people close
So-
their eye when they shoot anyway.
Right.
He's vengeful.
It was already gone.
So we got
Oh,
we got two more topics. Well, two more topics we'll talk about. So this next to last topic right here. So I posted this on the page. In Montgomery, they arrested these 3 women. It's 5 of them total for being a part of a shoplifting ring. They was boosters.
Mhm.
And they stole a lot of stuff.
Mm.
But apparently, ain't none of them still no edges. Like I'm trying to
That's
figure out
it.
Well,
You're
every-
canceled. Moving
everybody-
right along.
Everybody had
Next
ball
story.
fades.
like
Everybody got temp fades.
but they ain't got no tips though. Like this is
It helped them run faster.
Yeah, they-
it made them aerodynamic.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh my.
It look like Lamborghini doors.
Right.
Like the wings
I
shoot
am
up.
Let the
done.
Lamborghini
Next
doors
topic.
up.
Okay, I'm gonna be the voice of reason right now. Okay, all of you need to move on.
Okay.
Every last single one of you.
So this last topic is one, and I don't want to spend too much time on it because we gotta get out of here.
Yeah, the temples just shining. Ew, smell like sofa 8.
Oh
It's-
god. Oh god.
Ma'am, why does your ponytail look like it's got a lace front?
I'm done with all of you.
Y'all know Sonny Hedgehog had a mohawk.
So do all 3 of these heifers.
You trying to say it's making them aerodynamic? I'm done
Yeah,
with you.
Fast. Look.
wait, and knuckles are our edges.
Yo, she say
Makes
Sonic
you,
the Hedgehog
makes you more
had a mohawk.
aerodynamical.
Yeah. Trying to feet move fast.
That was intentional.
Father,
Sound like you're cold.
Father,
He's dying.
I'm
He's
dying.
dying laughing.
So with that being said, so this is our 41st episode.
Going hard, going
Wow.
strong,
Like, do
still
y'all
moving.
realize that we have done this 40 times.
Yeah.
I've only done it like 3, but that's beside the point. Moving on.
But no, you've been
You're part of the
you're
part of the
family.
sleeping family.
So,
Yeah.
and this is what I want to talk about. Like, you've been a part of the family since day one. When I said I wanted to do it, you was like, "Go for it." And I knew I knew if I ever needed you on here, I could call you and you would come through and you would show love. And I know you listen. It's people that hit me up all the time and that support the show, like Tranisha and Jay and Marcus and we have our own personal ombudsman. Her name is Shayna. Shayna listens and lets us know when we're a little bit off base factually.
Okay.
And she'll be like, "Hey, you said this. It's
We have-
actually XYZ."
We have a fact checker.
Yeah,
All
she,
right.
she takes our facts for us.
All right.
One of the things that we said about Hawaii,
Mhm.
she actually checked us on it because she's very familiar with that area.
I like it. We got
You
our own
know.
Angela Rye. I like
Exactly.
It. Okay.
Got
All
and
right.
and she really is a lot like Angela Rye in some ways. In some ways, but we have a lot of fans who really show us a lot of love, right? And I really appreciate and love every single person that listens to this podcast. Eric, as soon as Eric listens to the podcast, like Eric will hit me up with like, a thought or a question. And like Eric texted me yesterday at like 6:30 in the morning. And I was like, bro, I am knocked out right now. Okay. But as soon as I wake up, I try to respond. Like sometimes I don't get to respond to everybody, but like everybody that's ever listened to the podcast, and I know we have some things like we said we're gonna expand in some ways. And those things are still coming. Life happens.
Mm.
We've got some things that we got in the works, and those things are coming up. But I wanted to bring a certain topic to just to discuss with you guys for like maybe 7 minutes or so. This isn't my first time doing an endeavor like this. I've had blogs. This is my first podcast, but I've had blogs, websites. I've written for various media outlets, things of that nature. And, I noticed something. Like this endeavor here has been the second longest one that I've done, actually. I had 7 Soul for 3 years.
Mhm.
My radio show that I had for 3 years. And I just find it really interesting that, most of the people who support me aren't people from back home.
Mm.
And I do a lot of talking about Birmingham and back home and stuff like that. But I know, like, from day one, like, Natty, you're not from Birmingham. You've been down, 10 toes down from day one.
I'm clearly not
You
from
know,
Birmingham.
your name says you're not from Birmingham. And Miss CP, we've known each other for a long time, but you're not from Birmingham, and you weren't really around for those other endeavors that I did. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just like, I guess I'm frustrated with something because I'm like, the people that you expect to show you the most love ignore you, and I don't understand that. And it's like, and it really, and I had a long conversation with somebody about this yesterday. It really, really hurt my feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Like it really, really bothered me. I was telling Natty earlier about how my big bro, he shot his music video yesterday in Birmingham, in the Dolomite area, Birmingham, and some low-level administrator came out and said that he couldn't shoot his video at that park because he hadn't talked to him. He was like, well, how much is it to rent the park? And the guy said $30. He was like, dude, I got T-shirts over here for $30. He said, I tell you what, I will pay you out of my pocket your lease for the year for this, $3,600. And the dude was like, no. And like, it hurt my brother so bad. He was like, man, people sell crack cocaine on this street. And I'm just trying to give away funnel cakes to the kids. And you treating me like this? And it's crazy. But then I started thinking about myself, and I was like, you know, I've done more than a couple of endeavors. And the only people who have really showed me love have been people who either A, don't know me, or B, you know, I just met. And I'm like, why is that? Like, and it really broke my heart. But then I thought about it. I said, man, the Bible says that not even a prophet is welcome in his home country. And so I left Birmingham and I came to Charlotte because I left Birmingham bitter and broke, like real broke, like extra broke. And I was like, Charlotte gave me a
Like
chance.
good time broke.
Bruh, I was worse than good time. But it's like
Like
Charlotte,
never made it out there.
like Charlotte gave me a chance, right? And I'm like, but my people who I really care about, you know, the people that I really rock with ain't really supporting me like that. So, you know, it's two things about that. I said, number one, you know, you got to rock the people who rock with you. But I said, you know, I got to stop caring about people who don't care about me because my breakthrough has to be on the other side of my heartbreak.
Bangarang. There you go.
I can't continue expecting people to rock with me that have never rocked with me.
Yeah.
That's the key word,
Yeah.
expectation.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't expect them to do it, you know, because a lot of times, whenever, let's say you can have two brothers, you know what I mean? You can have two brothers who grew up in the same house, ate off the same table. But when one brother surpasses the other brother in their mind, in the other brother's mind, now the brother who's moving forward, who's doing something progressive, he might be doing it in order to bring his brother with him. You feel what I'm saying? He's doing it with a clear mind, clear conscience. But that brother who feels like he's lagging back, he's not going to support what his brother is doing. Even though they grew up in the same house, ate from the same table, did this and did this and did that. But it'll be the cousin or the play cousin.
Right.
Or the homeboy or the friend. Like, oh, you doing that? Oh, hey, let's rock with it. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
It always be the people. I ain't going to say it's always the people closest to you, but a lot of times we expect those that we hold close to us to rock with us. But they really don't rock with you like that when it comes down to, like you say, outside family endeavors that are not beneficial to them.
Right.
So they feel like if it's going to be, okay, oh, this going to propel Chad to this level. It's going to propel Chad to this level. He all right. He can make it. He don't need me to listen. He don't need me to share. He don't need me to do this. He don't need me to do that. He got everybody else doing it, but what they don't understand is you that hit that share button, or hit that listen button, or hit that like button, because I hold you near and dear, and I look at you as family. So that one like from you is worth 1,000,000 likes from anybody else, but they don't get it.
Right.
They don't get it, you know. And at the end of the day, like you said before, the expectation level has to be cut out.
Right.
It has to be cut out, because at the end of the day, you're going to end up having a disappointment if you're expecting these people to do it and they're not going to do it. I'm not going to say they're not going to do it, but most of them are not going to do it. It's always the people outside your circle who's looking in, who's respect what you're doing in your circle.
And I'm going to just chime in real quick. It's always a word that my grandmother and my father use a lot. Growth. You're not going to be comfortable with growth. Unfortunately, people are going to disappoint you, but it's growth. And you move forward and your circle changes. Life is good.
Yeah.
Keep pushing.
I'm trying to tell you, it's like pubic hair.
Oh God! One last note though.
You gonna
as
cut me off like
Natty
that?
said, the key word is expectation, and we
Yeah.
have to learn to manage our own expectations.
Right.
Our expectations can create our own disappointments. But to also correct something that you mentioned, you was like, not word for word, but you mentioned something along the lines of them not caring for you. Well, the thing we also have to keep in mind is that our definition of care, our definition of love is not the same as the next person's.
Right.
So just
Yep.
because they don't support you the way that you think that they should,
Don't mean they
doesn't
don't love
mean
you.
that they don't love you
Yep.
and don't care. I think we give too much credit to hate we give too much credit to the negative aspect of it. The thing is, some people just are how they are, and they are where they are, and we have to acknowledge and accept them for that, and take it or leave it.
That's it.
Here's my thing, and you said something just then. We give too much credit to hate. Here's my, and this is something that I picked up on. I learned it because it got cliche, but I really truly do believe this. The opposite of love isn't hate. The opposite of love is indifference. If I hate you, I am still giving energy to that which you are involved in.
Right.
If I don't care whatsoever, that's the opposite of love to me.
This mug over here with ad libs.
Right.
I'm trying to tell you.
I
That's the
agree.
opposite. That's the opposite of
agree.
love to me. And so when I say, you know, people not showing me the love, like you're being indifferent, yeah, that kind of hurts my feelings because some of these same people who I fed, put clothes on their back, money in their pocket, even when I wasn't straight. All I ask you to do is click something and maybe listen while you at work.
Yeah. It don't matter. I mean, we all done been there. Listen, I got a homegirl, and I would love to put her on blast right now. Let me say, ex-homegirl.
Hey,
I done paid
text me her
your
name.
bills. Yeah, I done paid your
Text me
bills.
her
I
name.
done
I
fed
say-
your kids. I don't even talk to this heifer no more.
Ooh.
But it is what it is.
She a
Life goes on.
whole
whole
But
lot, yeah.
but I like what EP said when she said that it's expectations.
Right.
So we can't expect everybody to think how we think,
Nah,
right?
right.
And they're not going to show love how we want them to show love.
No.
So you just have to, you know, keep a positive mind and keep it moving forward
keep it
and not
moving.
give any negative energy to the situation.
Right.
Because even though I called her a heifer, I just wanted to know, just in case you're listening, I don't think about you. I only mentioned you because it was just correct in this moment. But she's a non-factor, right? And I'm happy. And guess what?
The
Even
indifference.
though our friendship failed, I stole her friend. So we good.
Father.
Anyway, that was petty.
I get
That's
in my
petty.
feelings
Moving
sometimes,
forward.
though, because I know I'll give my last. I'm talking about I'll go above and beyond
Right.
Yeah.
to claw for the next person.
Right.
Yeah.
Even if they won't. I'm like, oh, you ain't
Yeah.
got it to do it? Okay, I'll do it for you. Just
Yeah.
hold tight.
Right.
But I know
I-
everybody's not going to do it for me.
Yeah,
Right. They not
I'm
built
petty.
like
I just get you back. Like, you know, I'll steal your best friend.
Yeah. I slow rolling. I slow rolling. Right.
You know.
I don't like you sometimes, Jersey.
What? I'm just honest. Listen, you know, you want to act like a jerk, I'm
I'll
just steal
take
your
your
friend.
man.
Yeah, I'll do that too if
Yeah.
you tempt me. But more than likely, I'll just be petty and steal your friend.
You know, okay.
They come
No,
willingly.
I
though.
just gotta say that I take a lot of inspiration from my big bro Preach. Preach. I had to get out my feelings because I watched how Preach started and built a brand from scratch.
Yo.
Regarding something that he's very passionate about, and the people that you would think would have latched onto it, like the people that he really had kind of pushed for, fought for, you know, had respected and loved, they started, like, they actively went out of their way to down him
Yeah.
and
The slave
downgrade
mud.
him for it. And Preach, like, I don't know, that's maybe 5 years later. Preach is still going. Preach is still doing his thing. The brand is big, getting bigger and bigger.
Come on, man.
And like they still talking, but they can't stop it.
You can't stop. Yeah. You can't stop.
If you
what
just, I guess, if you, and so I looked at that example, and you know, Preach is kind of like an example for me in a lot of different things. And I was just like, man, he just kept going.
And people can't destroy what they didn't make, man. You know what I mean? As long as you keep putting that time and energy into it, guess what? The hate gonna come, the talk gonna come. I mean, all the ridicule is gonna come. All that's gonna come, man.
So
know,
when you started your business, like,
oh my God.
I'm rubber, you're glue.
I know you.
Oh man, when I started,
I know you still deal with some things to this day, like you know, with just some people not wanting to support you and some people not really wanting to rock with you. Like
and man,
that.
I don't even care. I don't even care no more. Like I tell people all the time, man, you know, when I first started, you know, my core base was my friends and family members. Now, I will say I had numerous friends and family members who did support my endeavor to jump into the tattoo industry. You know what I mean? Because, you know, they knew me as a child. You know, they knew me from childhood, from doing jeans and airbrushing T-shirts and, you know what I mean, things like that. So they were like, okay, well, check it. Boom. I'm going to give my man a try. And I have family members who rock with me from day one, which has been a 8 going on 9-year journey now. But I had family members who were like, huh? He doing what? Not on me. But now, those are the same family members booking, trying to get an appointment. But I'm booked.
Ooh.
I'm booked,
Ooh.
baby.
I'm good, love.
Yeah, I'm good.
I
Enjoy.
love the pettiness.
Enjoy.
I'm very.
love it.
And I'd be sitting right on the couch
See, I
doing
take petty-
nothing.
I
Eating
take petty to a
Oreos,
whole nother
eating
level.
Oreos, dipping in milk. Cuz I was trying to come through. Who is this again? Cuz, oh, hey, cuz. Oh, yeah, I'm booked.
Said you can sleep if you want to.
You know what I
But
mean?
not on me,
See?
baby.
And one thing about it is like people they want to get on the boat when the boat set sail.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But the boat gone.
That's
I mean,
what
but
I'm
when the boat was
saying.
sitting right here and I'm
Yeah.
People don't
actually
rock
to get
with you.
on.
People don't rock
Yeah,
with you
yeah.
until somebody else rock with you.
Oh man,
Exactly. What? I like that. You know, you
No.
wasn't checking for me till I was taking trips to Africa,
Until I
but
was
I'm
popping.
taking your friend now.
yeah, now I'm popping.
How
Well,
about that?
I have this big, thought
sorry.
process about everything, being there's a purpose behind
That's
it
because
all,
you
right?
deep.
Right.
Right, I am. So even when it comes
Like
to
the
people,
deep blue sea.
even
Mentally.
even
Need
when
a
it-
bucket just to hold this
Wait
Wait a
conversation.
minute. It's going elsewhere. Go ahead.
Sorry.
right,
Give me your
right,
point.
right. So
Jesus.
even when it comes to people,
Right.
I feel like those people are still necessary in
Yeah,
your
got to.
journey
You gotta
because
have
what
'em.
they're actually their purpose is to be a distraction. Because if you start to focus on, I'm not getting love, I'm not getting
who
support, or this particular person, I really thought they were gonna be there for me and they're not. You're distracted and you're not focusing on what your goal was and what you're supposed to be doing.
Bingo.
Mm.
And so if you put more
EP,
energy
you
into
better
that,
preach. You better
then
go
what
on.
the energy where it needs to go,
To the people who
you
are
did it to
supporting.
yourself because they technically didn't do it to you.
You
See
know
what I'm
what?
saying?
You are anointed today.
What? Ain't she?
It's on the everyday. It's on the
You know what? I think it started because I started singing Joyful, Joyful.
I think that's
I
what
mean,
it was.
I
She
was
got-
wondering
she
what
got
you was.
filled-
Look,
Listen,
you brought-
all right,
with the
look,
spirit.
stop, because I'm gonna go. We'll talk about it after.
Right.
All right.
The joyful, joyful.
It's a
That's
baby
it.
in the room.
That's
Sorry.
Joyful, joyful.
Your children gonna show out wherever they go. They gonna
so
show out.
that's it for the
She
show.
knows she
Does
had to say that loud.
y'all got anything else y'all want to say? Anything y'all want to say to people?
Well, basically, man, I want to give a shout out, man, to one of the hometown heroes, man, Sindarius Thornwell. If
Hey.
anybody's listening, boom, he's putting on for the Big Country Classic down there in LA, the basketball tournament. And just support that young man in his endeavor into the NBA, and to keep him uplifted because he uplifts a lot of people. And give a shout out to my other homegirl, Sydney Nicole, who took her own bread, and got volunteers and fed the city yesterday just on her own effort.
what's
You know what I mean?
Nice.
So shout out to Sydney Nicole and man, just shout out to everybody, man, spreading positive vibes and like you say, not worrying about who's saying this, who's saying that, who's being negative, man. Let's keep this positive pumping so we can go ahead and rise to the top.
Amen.
That's it.
Oh, I'll actually be really, really nice. So I'm going to give a shout out to 2 different establishments. So
Oh.
Please Believe It Fitness off of North Graham,
Mm.
to Shannon and JD, my trainers who are helping get this body back together after my surgery. I thank God for you and I appreciate you. And thank you for struggling with me and yelling at me when you need to get in my butt.
In her avenue.
And on
Her
top of that,
avenue.
and to another.
She said it was
All right,
half
it was
price.
half. I'll pay you, baby. God, I pay
She
you.
said
All right,
50
and
cents.
also to we went out last night, and there's a little subculture here in Charlotte, and it's they have a thing going on called Afro Pop, and me and my
yeah.
homegirl went last
Yeah.
night,
You
and
know, I
we
rock with the
had
Afro-pop
yeah,
events.
we had an excellent time. My knees are killing me because we were dancing
had
all
it,
night
Morehead?
long. Yep,
Morehead
Morehead
Tavern?
Tavern. Yep,
Yeah.
We gotta
Morehead
get him on
Tavern
the
in
show.
the basement.
Yeah. I rock with
Yeah,
that
we had
for
an
a
excellent time, and the
Mhm.
brother is knowledgeable. The 2 brothers that are
Mhm.
running it, and then also to I believe Keisha who does Soca Fit,
Yeah.
and so yeah, we had a really
Yeah, I
good
know
time.
all them. Yeah,
That's
this,
dope.
Afro pop be popping, literally.
That's what's up.
They had the bracelets and jewelry out there and all that good stuff. Right on.
Head wraps, the whole 9.
Miss EP, what you got?
Stay focused. Live life.
Hey,
Protect your peace.
hey.
Protect your peace. I got nothing, man. I
Use
said
your
my
peace
piece.
to protect you.
All right.
All I want to say is, like I said last week and the week before, everybody be free. Be free. Nobody can give you freedom.
Mhm.
Take it.
I'm trying to
Be
tell you.
free.
It's nice.
That's gonna do it for us here at the Kind of CB podcast. Thanks for checking us out. Peace.
We out.
Yeah.
Say bye, Miss KK.